Hello! We've just joined Rush Rally 3, Rallycross Stage 10. We're about to finish the second lap of the 3-lap race and enter the final lap. This video is going to be featuring my Kobishi Saloon RX, the blue and orange car. You can see it right in the center of the camera. This is the same car that is in the icon for the Rush Rally 3, the red one. This is a paint scheme that was actually raced on the car in real life in the year approximately 2010, years thereabouts. The car in real life is called Mitsubishi Evolution X, and it was on various other models of the Mitsubishi, not just the 10. This is a paint scheme much as used on the Lancia Strato. You'll see with advertisement for Rush Rally Unleashed. This video is going to feature 3 parts. We've just finished the first part of me finishing that 3-lap race. We're now going to do a replay from spin camera, the whole 3 laps, and after that we'll go into this car in the vinyl section to take a little better look at the decals. There you can see the side of the car, the front of the car, and the side in the chateau. So let's go take a look at all 3 laps from spin camera. You might have noticed the one main decal right in the back there, the gray one on the orange stripe. That is the Mitsubishi Motors symbol. It appears in other places on the car. It can be made up with 4 triangles. One triangle, then you have to mask out the other portions and line up all 3 of the smaller triangles to the exact center of the larger first triangle where you're masking out to form that symbol. But on to the other realistic decals on this game. You might notice our main sponsor here, which probably explains the blue and orange paint scheme, Golf. I created that symbol all from scratch using the shapes available for creating decal work. And the lettering. The lettering, I would have preferred to use a bold letters, but we do not have bold letters to use in the game. So my Golf looks somewhat different than in the real world. It's a bit challenging to form that symbol because it's not just a round symbol with a bar through it. The white extends beyond the circle, so I used a white rectangle and 2 semicircles to make the shape, and then you have to outline the whole symbol in a dark blue pinstripe. So it's very difficult to line all that up. The other decals that are pretty much true to the real world on here, there's a decal called Art Trail in the game. In real life it would appear to be, or Air Trail in the game. In real life, it would appear to be Art Rally, with the rally being spelled with an I at the end of it, which is used in Mitsubishi racing teams. It's that symbol they've created. As for other symbols on here that are somewhat representative of real life, I've used Peeler once again to represent Pirelli, as they very somewhat similarly shaped, and probably one is much based on the other. And underneath the Golf symbol, I have So Pro with it on a white lettering on a blue triangle, or not triangle, rectangle. that would have been the same thing, except the lettering would have been different. It would have been spherical or some such, I believe, in the real world. The other decals, well, the motor oil on the number board on the upper part of the front door panel there, it would have been, there was this particular type of motor oil in the real world on the real car. Let's go take a look at this in the vinyl section. So we'll go into upgrades, customize vinyl. Here we go. As I was saying, the decal, it's also on the top of the car. It was actually, there was a name of the motor oil. So I used a lot of stand-in decals when I was doing this car. There's also a decal above the Golf symbol there. Auto Racing, I can't remember exactly what it said, whether it was auto or racing, but I tried to use a decal, form a decal that indicated somewhat the same thing. It was impossible to do that with all the other decals on the car. Fortunately, most of the decals are small, so I just used decals that were somewhat similar shaped and took up the same kind of space on the car. So the wording of the decals is not really representative of the real world. As for forming the paint scheme on the car itself, that is not all that difficult. I chose a blue car. I projected an orange stripe down the car like this, and I don't even think I needed to do any additional striping other than to put a decal underneath it and either symmetry it or make one slightly wider to get a little bit of a pinstripe effect on the side of the orange. The one on the lower door panel was also done the same way in real life. That orange can extend to the back of the bumper, into the back of the car behind the rear wheel, but not to the bumper in itself. And it entailed doing a separate orange for the front bumper, because it had to be projected at an angle something like this. And once again, with doing the center stripe, you put another decal behind it and just move it up to create a bit of a pinstripe. So then doing the paint scheme, the decal work is a little bit challenging to get the Golf and the real life Mitsubishi symbols on there. The other decals, it's, you just try to get something that, I tried to get something that looked somewhat similar. That's about it. So I hope you found this video somewhat helpful. If you decide you want to do a different paint scheme, a real life paint scheme on your Kobishi Saloon RX or Mitsubishi Evolution Car in the game. That's it for my video. Hope you found it helpful.